It was the way this was destined to finish. The Raymond Reddington task team had changed since it was first established during Season 1 of the Blacklist. They were selected to pursue a shared objective in one of the most ambiguous operations ever, as a collection of individuals with absolutely nothing in common. Over the years, they had developed, grown, made errors, learned from them, and forged ties. However, if one were to contrast and compare the task force from 10 years ago with how it is now, one would see that these individuals had changed. Arthur Hudson was unhappy with this alteration. Therefore, he made an effort to change it. A lot happened in the Blacklist Season 10 Episode 20 as Arthur presented his case to the current Attorney General, and Raymond's future was alluded at. When Agent Nickson and Arthur originally submitted their case to the Attorney General, he didn't think highly of it. Confidential informants are typically the very worst since it is not how they are by nature. Instead, they are more like the average upstanding citizen. It was equivalent to telling the Attorney General that the task force collaborated with a criminal to cluck chickens. But by claiming that the task force had transformed and was now working for Raymond, utilizing the angel he had been working with, he was able to win the Attorney General over. This day was inevitable, according to Harold Cooper. Cooper was a little bit certain that this was the case every time a government representative called him into an office in Washington. But until Arthur Hudson, that never happened. He always had a speech ready to give at those meetings about how much good they were doing. But after a while, it got boring to keep saying the same thing. He therefore talked from the heart. Even Arthur, who was ready to take on anyone, was surprised when he talked about his sentiments. For the whole of the Blacklist Season 10, Raymond had been working on a project, and we often wondered what it may be. Raymond Reddington's demise or a clean break were also scenarios we considered. The second appeared to be accurate. When someone is preparing to leave permanently, saying farewell to friends is the final thing they do. He was fortunate that several of his coworkers turned into some of his closest friends. Despite attempts from outside influences to sway her in a different course, Heddie had stayed devoted to him. She received a hefty award as a result. In an attempt to persuade him to go on to other things, Raymond went to see the man who had for him for decades been able to pry secrets out of people. Raymond suggested they escape together once Weecha returned. Even if he didn't express it, parting ways with Agnes was among the toughest things he had to do. They relished their ice cream, but Agnes sensed something wasn't right. She was a perceptive young lady, and Raymond speculated that she would follow in her mother's footsteps and pursue a career in police enforcement. But out of all of these goodbyes, Harold Cooper's was the most difficult. They had been through a lot together, and Raymond very certainly would have been jailed long ago if Harold hadn't gone out on a bat for the task force. They both had a passion for Agnes. Because of this, he was unable to remain silent when he learned that Arthur had ordered the Attorney General to question Cooper. Tadashi stepped up with his hacking prowess, and Raymond quickly spoke with everyone in the space and delivered one of the greatest The Blacklist statements ever. People were genuinely feeling like opening up. So something must have been in the air that day. With a little snark, speeches were delivered from the heart. Raymond has delivered several fantastic monologues, but we have never seen him engage in a face-to-face debate with anyone. Watching it was very magnificent. Because the Attorney General ordered the task force to be disbanded, Cooper's case might have been worsened by his attempt to argue it. That was expected to happen, so people who watch the Blacklist online weren't surprised by it. That was it for the Raymond Reddington task force, since everything that has a beginning must also have an end. Even Sia, who always has her head on straight, put herself on the line to defend Raymond and the task force. They didn't give up without a fight. Is he going to be caught? Will Red survive this, if not completely unharmed? We are eager to share our understanding of how this will pan out with all of you, but there are many unanswered questions. Next week, on Thursday, July 13th, see the Blacklist season finale on NBC. We'll have some spoilers for the Blacklist before that for you. Comment on your opinions of this episode and the forthcoming series finale in the meantime. Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. You may like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more breakdowns if you enjoyed it. I appreciate your time and interest.